Hello guys, welcome to our talk about modularisation. My name is Pedro Machado and I'm an drug developer at XING here at Porto.
Hello everyone. First of all, thank you for coming today to our talk. My name is Mostafa Hanafy. I'm an Android developer working for XING Germany. And today, together with Pedro, we are going to talk about our journey at XING. Can everyone hear me or should I? Okay. Today we're going to talk about our journey trying to modularize our Android app. Why and when did we consider modularization? We'll also try to answer the question, what could go wrong? In the beginning, let me share a little story about Android team structure at XING. So when we started developing our Android app, we had a central mobile team with few developers who were responsible for everything, developing features, maintaining the app, full functionality, containerization, releases, everything. And we have feature team, which at this point were only responsible for developing web features. And those teams were making feature requests to this central mobile team to build features for this domain. But over the time, they kept asking for more features, more features, more features. In a way that the central team became like overwhelmed with requests, and they lost focus on maintaining the core functionality and taking care of the app architecture, app structure. So we found out that this team structure doesn't scale. So we decided to restructure the team and hire more developers and move them to feature teams. Also, divide the central team into two teams. One is platform team, which is responsible for the core functionality, maintaining the application structure, architecture, taking care of SDK library reviews, and release team, which is responsible for making releases. We do like bi-weekly releases, and also the testing process for these releases and continuous integration steps. And yeah, this structure worked quite well because those two teams, platform and release, could focus more on their job, and also the feature team could get features done easily and faster. But yeah, so now we are distributed, even though we still have a community of practice meeting, like a weekly meeting that will discuss things, talk about the future of that, new architecture, new structure, new libraries that we want to use, so maybe to post that maybe. So when we think about the future of our Android app, we tend to think about how to make the architecture scalable. Which architecture do we use? MVP, MVVM, or modularisation architecture? We also care a lot about the coding standards, having a unified coding style, and using static code analyzers. We try to make our app maintainable and extendable also by, I don't know, we ask, is unit testing is enough? Do we do integration testing? What library do we use? Do we need automation testing? Of course, we focus on hiring talented people at every company. We also think about the team structure as we were talking in the previous slide. But with this new structure and the team getting bigger and the feature requests getting bigger, we started building stuff on the top of each other. Without really considering how it gets complicated and how the building process and build time could get slow over the time, which led to the build time became unbearable. So how many of you see yourself in this skip?
He's not trying to tell that you are there, so don't worry.
Yeah, so we found out that each Android developer at XING wastes every day, on average, like more than an hour, waiting for Android story to build, and simply you do nothing. You have to wait for Android story, which takes forever. Sometimes you decide to take a short coffee break or something while this change is being compiled, and then, okay, come back and say, okay, now there's a problem with the injection. Then I do another change, then another colleague comes, interrupts you, and then at the end of the day, it feels like it's not productive. You become very frustrated, which led us to start considering modularization.
Now I will try to explain briefly what modularization is. How many of you guys have heard about modularization before? How many of you work with modularization? Cool. Modularization is the process of splitting your application into logical layers by separating the features or separating by sections in a way that makes sense for your project and in a granularity that makes sense for you and helps you achieve the goals that you want with modularization. So our focus when we choose to modularize our app was decreasing build times because they were unbearable and we were getting much less productive that we wanted to. So we focused on that, even though we can also take advantage of it by having easier way to add instant apps of some of the features that we want. We could also take advantage of dynamic delivery. We wanted to select features for independent apps. Like for instance, we might want to release our Messenger app without the features that we have, but just focusing on Messenger. And also it increased somehow the code ownership because the boundaries between which team owns each module are more clear now to every team that's working on our application. So let's imagine that we have an app that lives in a single monolith big model. All the code is there, and we want to start modularizing it to take advantage of better build times or one of the other things. We start by splitting the feature A and B into different models. The thing is that this is something that will, or most probably will not happen this way because features have common code that cannot be extracted to either one of the features that we extracted. So we might need to extract other models that the common code lives in, or if there are other things that might make sense to extract in our project, like some feature that makes sense to be in a different model, or some common code that might be used by a feature or something like that, we also might have to extract it into a different model. And this can help us take advantage of few properties like parallel compilation or compilation avoidance. Parallel compilation helps us take advantage of it by having better build times because you can compile, once the models are separated, we can compile some of them in parallel. In this case, we start by compiling D. Once it's ready, we can compile A and C. And prior to that, they will just get compiled in the big monolith and take more time because everything in the big monolith will get compiled in sequential model. So now we can just wait to compile them at the same time. Once C is finished, we can just go for B and not wait for it to be finished. And once both are finished, the app is fully compiled and we took advantage of the parallelization here. And the other property is compilation avoidance. Let's imagine that we change something in A. Since the modules on the right, D, C, and B, didn't change or any of their dependencies changed, we can just compile A and then the app is already compiled. And this is really good for teams that are working on focused models now, because if we separate their feature or their section into a different model, they will have better compilation times for what Mostafa talked about, like when you have something that you changed and it takes a lot of time and you realize that you made a mistake and you have to change it again. This helps you save a lot of time when you compile it. And then we are now going to talk about how we approach this.
Since you're already aware of the team structure and then, since modularization is platform topic by nature, so by default it's like the responsibility of the platform team. But since it's also a huge project, so one team is not enough. So we came up with a new team. We called it modularization, which is engineers from the platform team and from the feature team, because we always believe that it should be a shared effort between all Android developers in the whole community. And it wasn't only actually Android developers, it was also testing engineers moving from those teams to this new team. And then we started applying the plan or working on the plan that from team had before. So this was our app before modularization. So it was like one big monolithic module which has everything inside, which whenever you make a smaller change it takes forever. And we were thinking, okay, which feature should we start with extracting? So we decided to extract settings because we didn't want to block the other teams from development, and it's also like a kind of independent feature. So whenever we make changes, it won't have conflicts with the other that much. So with modularization, we created a new module called app as the top of the hierarchy, which knows about all the other modules that we are gonna create. And it depends on the core app, which is like the huge one, which is the plan for the future is to break it into small ones to make use of the better compilation or compilation avoidance. And here is the new settings. And then we started moving core app to settings, the created code to settings. But things are not easy as how it looks, because we figured out that some code, shared code is still here, which we cannot move here because it's shared code between settings and other features. So we have two solutions. First one is either we make settings depends on core app, which doesn't make sense because this way it doesn't make sense because we can get benefit of direct compilation avoidance because the big modules are depending on each other. Second solution is to extract this common functionality in a new module and make core app and settings depend on it. And this way we make benefit of direct compilation because the compilation process will be like this. Common module will be built first, and then core app and settings will be built at the same time because you don't have any dependencies or you are not interdependent, and then app. So this way we make use of direct compilation. And over the time, when we break core app into more modules, so we can make use or make more use of the direct compilation. And but this way, we don't make use of compilation avoidance because whenever you make a change here on common, you have to rebuild core app and settings and app again everything like that. So we changed it a little bit. So we divided the common app into two modules. One is API and one is implementation. Because as you know, like API doesn't change that much, but implementation does. So this way, settings and core app depends on just interfaces, some interfaces that the implementations are here. And this way, whenever we want to change the implementation, here, the common implementation, we don't have to rebuild everything again. So whenever we make changes here, only this and app will be built again. And core app settings, common API module won't be built again. So now we made a big advantage of compilation avoidance, and common API is not going to change that much. So yeah, how we were measuring the results. So with each change we were making by creating a new module or making a new dependency between modules and each other. We were always checking the dependency graph to avoid unexpected interdependencies. Because we wanna avoid that we take a lot of time and then we find out that okay, we end up in a mess. So we wanted to measure everything with each change and with each step that we are going the right track. So we have a script that generates a dependency graph between modules, and we will be putting it in our pull request to make sure that while reviewing the dependencies are correct. We also using Gradle generated reports, we were making sure that with clean builds, the right compilation is happening. So make sure that, for example, in the last slide, core app and settings could be built at the same time. Also, whenever we make a change in the core module, which called incrementable, only affected modules are getting compiled. So if you go back to the last example, if you make changes on implementation, the other one shouldn't, the common implementation, the other one shouldn't be compiled again. And of course we do QA because we want to make sure that we're not breaking features on our way. So yeah, here's a timeline for like illustration for the timeline of the build process. And as you see, it's like was like just one file, like one big line, and tasks were like, yeah, maybe the font is not so clear, but tasks had to wait for each other to be executed. But after modularization, we have more parallel tasks running together, which saves a lot of time. And now expensive tasks could be avoided with incremental builds. So here you will find that this is a list of the build tasks that we were being executed before modularization. And this is like a list of tasks after we make a small change in the code, which was just one big module. And it's ordered by the most expensive tasks on the code. And on the right side, you'll find that this is list after modularization, after we broke some modules and extracted them out of the video. And as you see, the tasks were taking so long time here. Here they are up to date, and we don't need to recombine them again. So we're using the power of compilation avoidance to save a lot of time. So yeah. So yeah, things seems to be easy and doable, but we actually had to try and error a lot to make sure that we're taking the right approach. Sometimes we had to revert code, sometimes things were going wrong. So yeah, now Pedro will try to answer the question. What was wrong?
Okay, so now that we explained you how we approach the modularization problem, I will try to ask you guys what we suffered with, like what were the problems that we encountered every day when trying to do it. So the first problem and the most prominent one was that sometimes we had to rebuild everything again on a daily basis. Because you follow an approach, we are not experts in the whole code. We were, like Mostafa told you guys, that we were from different teams. Even though as a team we had a broader perspective of the whole application, not always knew what was the best approach, and most often until we were almost done with it, we eaten a lot of dead ends, and we had to start from the beginning with new knowledge that we could apply to other tasks. So this is a very focus on trial and error sometimes, so it can get frustrating sometimes. Also, not thinking of the involvement of the teams that are not working specifically on modularization. For instance, we as a team focused on that, on initializing modularization on our project, but we had lots of teams working with features at the same time, and they were adding code to the monolith. So if you don't do it in a way, you don't think the process in the project in a way that they are taken into account, and that you take into account that they will have to modularize their sections also, you will suffer because they will be just adding to what you have to do in the future. And also the dependency graph is something that could really easily get out of control because you keep separating stuff, and if you don't measure each step of the way, you will get lost, and you most probably have interdependencies between modules that will keep you from taking advantage from the compilation properties that we talked about. Also, not measuring, like I was telling you, can yield really big problems because you can just be doing something that doesn't make sense if you don't measure each PR or each that you do. You can just be adding something that doesn't improve your compilation avoidance or compilation, so you will be going the wrong way. So it's important to measure every step of the way so you can steer the project if it makes sense to change the way you're going. And also, try not to refactor things that you don't need. Like if you try to make, you see some code in Java and you think, okay, this would be easier and prettier in Kotlin, let's move it. So I don't like the way this for loop is done, I will change it to use something else. So if you do it, even though it seems the logical thing to do, you might end up making functional changes that you're not expecting, and you break everything without the need to do it. So Taking into account some of these, we established some ground rules that we need to follow when we have to go further with modularization. And the first one is that we shouldn't need to block other teams' releases. Like, we should plan this in a way that other teams can still work on their features, they can release, and we can work in modularization in parallel. And if there's the need to block someone, these needs should be negotiated and discussed with the teams that we need to work with to minimize it and minimize the impact of modularization on the whole project and the business. Also, the thing that I told you about, don't refactor things that you don't need to, otherwise you will get into really big problems without needing them, and it's not the scope, it should not be the scope of the process of modularization. Automatic tests, the coverage should not change. So tests should be the first focus for you to know that nothing broke, that everything is working like it's supposed to and like it was working before modularization. So try not to add any new tests to things that you don't understand, and try not to remove tests that you, for instance, if they are not working with someone that understands what's happening, to fix the tests and add something that helps you understand if everything is going all right. Measure the effects of each change. Try to steer the project in the right direction. Try to always be on track with your goals. See if you're getting at the points that you want to get at. So measure each step, so it's really important. Create guidelines for all the teams that will eventually have to modularize their sections, that will suffer with modularization at one point in the future. You don't need to block them for this, but you need to create documentation and guidelines that helps us, that help those teams work in modularization in the future without having to reinvent the wheel, like find patterns, your learning lessons, you just communicate them in a way that they can reuse your knowledge. And also, if there's a business need that is more important than modularization, you should have planned it in a way that enables you to stop it and not block any other business needs that are above modularization. So what did we learn from this first phase of our project? We learned that thinking about solid principles helped us a lot into modeling what is now our model structure. Because thinking, for instance, about single responsibility principle, we could have models as small as possible, because they are obviously faster to compile, but they help us take more advantage of, for instance, parallel compilation. That's really good. Also, using abstractions over implementation helps us in our approach in a way that Mostafa told about APIs and separating API implementation to take advantage of parallelization also. Mixed language models like Kotlin and Java in the same model takes a lot more to compile, because they have to compile, they have other tasks, for instance, for interoperability. So you should avoid them as much as possible. You should not confuse this, like, don't migrate everything to Kotlin to avoid this, but if you can have an effort to migrate into Kotlin or not have mixed models, it would be in your best interest. It's not really possible to estimate with certainty how many models you will end up adding at the end of modularization, because you will always find code to move to other models. You will find interdependencies that you didn't expect and that you have to break, you have to extract. So that's nothing you can really predict, and so you shouldn't set expectations regarding this. Also, if you have internal tooling, you should be aware that this process breaks some of your internal tooling, be it CI, be it Gradle plugins, and even external tooling, like, for instance, an example is Jacopo, that it's not prepared for multi-model projects. So it's something that you have to take into consideration and just think that you might need to fix those issues in the future or during this process also. Dependency injection is something that might play a big role in the structure that you will end up having. For instance, also the thing about API implementation was something that we were able to do, and that was really focused on the way our project does dependency injection. So that's something that you should really understand about your project, how we were approaching dependency injection, and it will help you greatly achieve the goals that you want. And this was maybe the biggest challenge of them all. Convincing management that something that's not visible to them or visible to the user is worthwhile. So you have to make them feel that developers take, I don't know, 1.5 hours or something like that per day to compile. It's not productive, so you have to make them feel that this is as valuable for the business and for the users, because we can ship faster, we can make more features, we can have better work, better tested, we have more time for a lot of things. And also, modularization should not be something that you do once your project is big enough. It's something that you should start thinking from, I don't know if from the beginning, but at least when you think that your project has the potential to grow into a scale that you will most definitely need to do it. So start as soon as possible. Think about models you might have, because it's not only about build times, it's about everything, like I told you before, like decent apps, dynamic delivery, and even code organization, and that might help you in either case. So we achieved this with the help of this awesome team, like people from many backgrounds, from many countries, many cities, and from many teams inside XING. And we worked at a fully remote environment, which was a challenge, but it was the best. We achieved the best results possible in the end. So we want to thank these guys publicly, and thank you guys for being here. And if you have some questions, we are glad to answer them for you.
So questions?
I understand the advantages of modularization, but what about the drawbacks? Suddenly you have to have different teams combining interfaces. You have the dependency. I need to wait for that team to do X so that I can do Y. So that all adds overhead to the process. Do you know? Do you have some pointers on when should we switch to modularization versus having that well?
Yeah. So at XING we have like I don't think we passed the whole picture about our teams. Like we are almost 30 developers working across distributed teams. So that's pretty much the scenario before modularization. You know, so we have to wait for other teams to do stuff. So we pretty much blocked many times. So it made sense even before we started having problems. So if it makes, like I was saying, the granularity, and if you do it, it should make sense for your. For instance, if you are having many build problems, it could make sense either way. So I think it depends on the project and on the company itself, and it should also be a business decision, not only a developer decision. So I can say a point in time or a point in the project that it should make sense, but I think when it comes, you will feel that it's done.
And yeah, the plan is also that in phase 2 we are going to involve more developers from the teaching team, because they have more knowledge about, their features. So they have to see what is the best way to do it. They have to balance between adding new features that serve the business and also doing modularization, because as I mentioned before, it should be a shared effort between the whole team. I hope this answers the question.
More questions? No? It was clear. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much again to